Steps to follow before sending your book to the editor. I know you've shed blood, sweat, and tears to write your perfect manuscript, but before you send it for edit, here are a few pointers. Let me help you to tighten it up before you send it to your editor. Too short or too long? The perfect book length rests somewhere between 80,000 to 100,000 words. That translates to about 200 pages. You are safe if you're in that range. Always keep in mind the attention level of the average reader. Will the reader want to drift through hundreds of pages of character development and backstory when your story could be told in fewer words? Can your story be told in fewer words? When should I stop editing? Here are some flags that might be telling you to stop editing. The thought of touching your novel makes you sick. This one is obvious. If you've gotten to a point where you have edited, reworked, and thought about this book for so long that you're sick of it, well, that probably means it's time to be done. Read your book at least 3 times, minimum, but do not over-edit it. Read your book aloud. Reading a manuscript out loud may sound like a huge waste of time, but you'll be surprised just how many mistakes you can catch when you hear words instead of think them. It's going to require time to read your manuscript out loud. I recommend breaking it up over days or weeks. Reading a few pages or a chapter at a time per day, that helps. Join a writers club or community. Ask a lot of questions. It's one of the best ways to keep your sanity as a writer. I'm part of the Writers Clinic of Zimbabwe and I've learned a lot from this group. There is nothing quite as refreshing and reassuring as being around other writers who understand the struggles you're going through with crafting your manuscript. I know people are busy, but you can also ask fellow members to critique your manuscript in part or as a whole. The feedback a fellow writer can provide may help you course correct and identify your weak points. While they don't provide comprehensive edit that a professional editor can provide, a writer's critique can point you in the right direction. You've written something absolutely breathtaking. It's epic in every way. But if it's still your first draft, there's plenty of room for improvement. Be open to positive input. After the first draft. After you get the first draft out of the way, you will have a better, clearer understanding of your story. Most writers learn the story as they go along. You can clean up loose ends and sharpen the narrative. No matter how much you love your first draft, your second, third, or even the fourth is going to be an upgrade. You will also find mistakes that you did not see in the first draft or the second draft. It's called a scotoma. A scotoma is a partial loss of vision or blind spot in an otherwise normal visual field. Have you ever looked for something in the same place and can't find it? Look with fresh eyes in the morning and you will see it there. Tiredness can cause a scotoma and you pass through the obvious. Re-editing your script more than once will unearth some hidden mistakes. A bright room will help you stay alert. Move away from your manuscripts for a while. When you write a story, you get engrossed in its world. The characters are extremely real to you and you care about what happens to them. Your reader doesn't, at least not yet. Compel the reader's interest by your sharp storytelling. Unless you've drawn it before their eyes, they can't see the world you've created as you do. That's the purpose of taking a break. Time offers perspective. After you've written a story, step away for a week, a month, or even longer. The longer you wait, the better. When you return, you'll bring a totally different mindset and perspective that will help you see your story more objectively. You'll identify whether something grabs you or whether it's just fluff. You'll edit with a brand new braveness. Final thoughts. I know you're very eager to send your manuscript off for edit, but it's not a process you want to rush. Follow these tips to help you tighten your manuscript before sending it off, and you'll make the process easier for yourself and the editor in the long run. Use spell check. You don't want your busy editor to start correcting your silly mistakes.